The world of the Mass Effect trilogy is an irredeemable nightmare, ruled over by soulless bureaucrats, disgusting bugs, and an intergalactic longhouse of blue-skinned real dolls. It's a galaxy on the brink of annihilation, where every faction is too indolent and incompetent to lift a finger to save themselves. There's a clear existential threat to all life, and politicians and military leadership are deliberately covering it up or ignoring it. It's a contemptible and nihilistic neutron star of cowardice and lies. And this is the hidden aspect of Mass Effect that makes it truly great. This is a world that needs someone to step up and save it. And this is why the galaxy owes the Illusive Man an eternal debt of gratitude. The Illusive Man is unambiguously the greatest hero in the Mass Effect trilogy. A self-made crypto-guerrillionaire and private military tycoon, this man is the only reason that any living thing in the galaxy survived the Reaper invasion. But in Mass Effect 3, the Illusive Man's the bad guy. Don't worry, baby birds, we're getting to that. But before we do, you need to understand how fucking awesome the Illusive Man really is. After saving the world and exposing the Reaper threat in the first game, Commander Shepard dies heroically, saving his crew when aliens using advanced weaponry destroy his ship. This was a tragedy for the galaxy, as Commander Shepard was one of the only men in the universe with the courage to face the threat head-on and the charisma to lead mankind against the great alien threat. The Illusive Man understands this on a deep level.
The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
The Council will never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard, they'll follow him. He's a hero, a bloody icon.
The Illusive Man uses his bottomless resources to bring Shepard back to life, and despite the protests of his subordinates, he doesn't do something cartoonish like putting a bomb in the commander's head or giving him some sort of augmentation that would give the Illusive Man control over him. He brings Shepard back exactly as he was, because he knows Commander Shepard is more than just a man. The Illusive Man's will and purpose are virtuously aligned. He has infinite zeros in his bank account and a personal army that can act with impunity. But he recognizes that both Commander Shepard and humanity have a soul, and it's up to him to save it. And he does it. Once the Commander is rebuilt, they have the perfect partnership. The Illusive Man is the will, and Shepard is the arm.
If you shoot me, my
At no point after the resurrection is the Illusive Man jealous of Shepard or envious of his accomplishments. He knows that Shepard will do the right thing.
Oh my God.
Hostages only work when your enemy cares if they live.
And he sets him off into the galaxy to get the work done, because no one else will, and no one else can. These aren't the traits of a conniving and weak villain. They're the traits of a man who has total mastery of himself and his domain. This is a man with unshakable courage and the power to back it up. And this is the kind of hero that the galaxy desperately needs. Not just a soldier with biotic powers and regenerating health, but a man who will not allow the slow suicide of his species to unfold unopposed.
We're committed to the advancement and preservation of humanity. If the Reapers are targeting us, trying to wipe us out, Cerberus will stop them. If we wait for politicians or the Alliance to act, no more human colonies will be left.
We all intuitively know that this is true, but the further you get into the game, you can feel something pushing back against you. It's like there's some sort of invisible thematic guardrail that you're bumping into.
Shepard, the men's restroom is on the port side of the ship.
Can you really trust the Illusive Man? I heard Cerberus are a bunch of human supremacists. Shouldn't I feel guilty about abandoning the Alliance? This is all Problem. The writers didn't understand what they had created in the Illusive Man until it was too late. In attempting to tell a subversion story where Commander Shepard dies at the beginning and has to ally with the bad guy on a hopeless suicide mission, they made a fatal mistake and were forced to do the one thing they hate the most: tell the truth. You see, if the Illusive Man had put a bomb in Shepard's head, or if he had installed some sort of mind control device, then he would have been a villain. But they set the game up in such a way where the Illusive Man has ultimate respect for who and what Commander Shepard is, and by extension, what the player is. He respected the agency that you and your avatar have, which is why when you hit the midpoint of the game, the Illusive Man does something completely out of character and against his own interests. He sends you into a trap, and when you confront him about it, he just hand-waves his reasons for doing so.
There's no way you thought it was real.
Without that information, we don't reach the Collector homeworld, and you and every other human may as well be dead. It was a trap, but I was confident in your abilities. And don't forget Edie. The Collectors couldn't have anticipated her. I needed the Collectors to believe they had the upper hand. Telling you could have tipped them off in any number of ways. Besides, I wouldn't have sent you in if I didn't think you could succeed.
This makes literally no sense. He wouldn't bring Shepard back, soul intact and full of agency, just to throw him to the wolves. This whole sequence was the heavy hand of the writers telling you what you're supposed to think about the Illusive Man. It's the media literate trying to explain to you that the guy you thought was cool is, actually kind of a creep. Like, he's really kind of weird. And this is not a CinemaSins, ooh, look at this giant plot hole moment. This is legitimately heavy-handed writing that is telling you to enjoy the game, but not like that. It's an admission that what you've been playing is a very real hero's journey, and a warning flag that if you like it, then you're one of the bad guys. But if the Illusive Man is the bad guy in this game, who exactly are the good guys? What is the alternative to his philosophy? The answer is that there really isn't one. Every institution in the galaxy has its head in the sand or is actively covering up the disappearance of hundreds of thousands of human beings who are being turned into goo by vicious aliens. This is especially absurd since one of the evil squid aliens attacked the fucking Space UN at the end of the first game. Billions of people across the galaxy witnessed with their own eyes the devastation of the Reapers, and yet somehow the government is denying they're a threat. The Alliance is not coming to save the world. The aliens are all concerned with their own petty regional problems, and politicians are trying to keep power while the world crumbles around them. This is a dead end for a galaxy devoid of hope and meaning, and this galactic malaise and nihilism is expressed through all of the companion characters that Shepard meets along the way. Each one of them has a giant void in their soul that serves as a window into the broader problems facing the galaxy. Take Thane, for instance. This horrifying fish man riddled with Lou Gehrig's disease and fibromyalgia has resigned himself to being nothing more than a tool of violence for the jellyfish people. He's simply waiting to die and making himself right with his terminal stoicism. Samara is the perfect example of what it means to be a monk divorced from any spirituality. She's simply power without a soul and is a clear threat to anyone around her who doesn't compute with her ludicrous code. Mordin is one of the most brilliant scientists in the universe, who is instrumental in genocidal science against another species. He's incapable of viewing morality of any kind outside of the lens of an abacus. Jack is a truly ripped psychopath that's nothing more than a stand-in for the hateful and pathetic writers. Garrus is a sort of hard-boiled cop. He's so disillusioned with everything that he just wants to take a few bad guys out with him before the world burns. He knows that the galaxy is essentially a dead husk and has a pathological need for revenge against it, without any hope that he'll ever make a meaningful difference. Grunt is a literal test tube baby that was meant to be a sort of blank slate. He's the progressive's dream, where science has advanced to the point where you could grow the perfect tabula rasa of a person. But it doesn't actually work that way because the world is insufficient to provide meaning or purpose to him. His most atavistic instinct is his defining characteristic. His name literally is Grunt and has no meaning. This disgusting turtle man is a void of violence and aggression. Tali is primarily concerned with the problems of her ethnic enclave. If she hadn't appeared in the first game, her people would be the whole scope of her world. Her desire to return to a world that only concerns her own people is a hopeless endeavor because her people have been in decline for centuries, with no signs of ascendancy. Kasumi wants nothing more to live in a dream world, away from the problems of reality. Her wish is to go to sleep forever, and to blank out reality no matter the real toll around her. And Zaid doesn't care about anything or anyone aside from getting what's his before it all goes tits up. The only exceptions to this cavalcade of despair and hopelessness are the two Cerberus operatives who work with you, Miranda and Jacob. Jacob left the Alliance because he knew that the galaxy was in trouble. He's a soldier in the absolute best sense of the word, looking to defend humanity from the very real dangers posed by the aliens and the Reapers. His heart is in the right place, and he correctly recognizes that Cerberus and the Illusive Man are the only people capable and willing to do the job that needs to be done. This is one of the only companion characters that has a heroic spirit and who sees clearly the real problem facing the galaxy. Miranda, with her perfectly engineered genetics and hypercompetence, could have so easily been molded into the tropes of the annoying girl boss, but instead, she knows that she can excel within the ranks of Cerberus, and she has someone directing her that is worthy of that job. Cerberus is an elitist organization, and that is the only environment she's suited suited to working in. If she hadn't joined Cerberus, she'd be tanking the stock price of indenture tech and winning sexual harassment lawsuits. Look at all of these people and tell me that the galaxy isn't crying out for heroes to do something about the nightmare world they live in. The Illusive Man is the only person with the vision and resources to look at the layers of bureaucracy and realize the fundamental truth that all heroes know deep within their hearts. You can just do things. And that's what the Illusive Man does. He knows the Reapers are coming to consume the galaxy, and he has absolute certainty in the strength of mankind to face that challenge. He isn't going to sit around and wait to lose with dignity just because the bug at the DMV said them's the rules. He uses his power, his will, and his titanic bag of shitcoins to bring Shepard back to life and send the squids packing. How could he not be a hero? What is untrustworthy about this? Who else was going to save the galaxy? No one. Without the Illusive Man, Shepard is just a frozen corpse in space. The Reapers sweep across the galaxy unopposed, and all intelligent life is turned to goo. The attempt to pull a bait and switch by making him the bad guy at the end of the game is nothing but cope from writers who wrote themselves into a corner. They wanted you to hate the Illusive Man the same way they hate themselves, but in making him a hyper-competent character with an objectively correct outlook in a galaxy with very few options for survival, they only subverted themselves and cemented the Illusive Man as the space giga-chat of the future who everyone rightfully adores. This bait and switch by the writers is the direct cause of Mass Effect 3's unsolvable problems. Knowing that you loved the Illusive Man for all the right reasons, the only option they had to preserve their subversion story was to take revenge on the player and force them to watch as the writers ripped the Illusive Man like the Joker. Oh, you thought he was the hero? Not so cool now, is he? They straight up tell you that the Illusive Man was just a patsy all along, and they make him cry and kill himself at the end because he was such a baby and a loser and not cool like you thought he was. But even though they ripped him and killed him, and the end of the trilogy fucking sucked, they were never able to kill the real hero of the story in the Mass Effect games. The Illusive Man fucking rocks, and they can stay mad.